The following is a presentation of TFNN. The Power Trading Hour with your host, David White. Call now, toll free at 1-877-927-6648. Internationally at 727-445-1044. Now, David White.
And welcome all to another exciting edition of the Power Trading Hour with me, your humble, lovable, and squeezably soft host. Once more into the breach we go, dear friends, and we've got a market that's down, but not out. 1920 on the S&P cash, 2.3 billion shares. That would say we're going to be about 1.4 billion shares light on the day to break these previous lows. Now, markets have gone down on lighter volume, and they've gone up on lighter volume, but most of the time, especially on the downside, you need more energy. That we're kind of hovering around this level gives at least some pause for people that are doing some bottom fishing, as I am out here at these levels. But we shall see. It's probably going to be about the last 30 minutes of the day. But again, we're going to go through a lot of charts out here and take a look. But I have to tell you, I got a ton of stocks out here that are testing lows on lighter volume. We have a lot of disparity between actual index volumes and volumes in the stocks themselves. We also have stocks that were giving very good signals and then plopped down. They jumped the creek and kind of out of the blue, too, which always has me scratching my head. Now, are these guys just have a perennial issue with bad timing, or maybe they're trying to get their stocks down so they can issue themselves some shares at lower prices? Could that be? They've waited for 2, 3, 4 years to say their stock isn't going up any higher. Waited until there was no volume, blew out the bottoms today. Are they that smart? Are they that dumb? All of the above? Little of everything? It's hard to tell. Anyway, we're going to get this party started in a minute, but just looking at some variety of stocks out here. We're about 12 points off the low in the S&P cash as we start the show today. And just a lot of pause for that volume. Again, I was looking that, we'd probably need something like 4.5 billion shares out here to break out these lows. 2.3 billion shares on the New York Consolidated Tape right now tells me we're only halfway there. Now, we can probably look for 1 billion shares between now and the end of the day on a normal day. Let's say we go a little bit more than that. Still probably 1.5 billion short. It's going to be light. Now, like I said, doesn't matter. Market's in a horrible mood. No one wants to buy. They're scared stiff. And guess what? That means that when there's blood running in the streets, I have to look for stocks that have no volume at previous lows, which we're doing now. In fact, I've got a couple of long-term stocks that had no volume at the previous levels of support. And got one that's up 3% today and another one in my long-term. And I think that the short-term is getting ready to surprise, amaze, and maybe dumbfound a few folks.
Then it's all just a little bit of history repeating.
On this day in 1998, Beanie Babies and the dot-com stocks hit the big time as eBay goes public. I had a girlfriend at the time that thought she was rich with Beanie Babies. All I could do is scratch my head. No one wants to hear. Anyway, goes public on the NASDAQ, selling 3.5 million shares at an initial offering price of $18 a share. Stock closes up the day at $47.03. And the internet IPO gold rush is in full swing as dozens of companies realize that if eBay can go public, literally anybody can and will. And very interesting. Of course, eBay was kind of an interesting company. I can't remember the lineage, but I think everything kind of went south for eBay when they really rapidly advanced their prices to their sellers. And at that point, Amazon really kind of took over. They took they just used to wet their beak for the stores that sold in eBay. They decided to get more than a little bit of beak wetting. They went right in there with a nice 1 cup and started wetting themselves profusely. But of course, Meg Whitman came in, I think, right in after this, bought up PayPal, and that really kind of saved the company until they split out. But a couple of companies out there probably, in big trouble, like Yahoo, like eBay, would buy other companies and see them rise to be and eclipse the previous companies. But on this day in 1998, I remember it well because my girlfriend thought she was rich with Beanie Babies. I said, you will be rich when you sell them, not when you hold them. And, of course, I think she still has them all. Anyway, what else do we have going on out here? I just wanted to get to charts fairly quickly because I think this is more of a decision time than anything else, and not speak too long about too many things. We, in the newsletter this morning, of course, as soon as I sent it out, Caterpillar came out and said, henny penny, the sky is falling. We'll never make another dime again. Of course, this is on what? This is John Deere, but I think Caterpillar, what did they say? We're not going to make money for another 2 years. Well, they'd already been going down for 5 years. So the whole idea was kind of silly. But, you will have occasionally companies do this. I don't know why he picked this time. And this is why I start to scratch my head. And that is a lot of companies don't mind, or a lot of CEOs don't mind throwing the baby out with the bathwater if it allows them to go out and get new stock dividends down at the bottom. You certainly have the volume, and on the chart, it's messed up. In a couple of years, he may not care if he's getting new options today or in the coming weeks. But I don't know. It seemed to me, kind of reading what they had to say, a little overbearing. But you had to say that if you were not expecting it, I wouldn't long the stock, and I probably wouldn't have ever bought it. You were going against the close of the August 24th low that had 15 million shares. You came into it with a third of that yesterday. So I don't think anybody was really thinking or knew that the CEO was going to go out with a megaphone and say, duck, cover and roll. The nuclear war is coming. But that's the way the market kind of looked at it. John Deere, kind of the offcast of this. Of course, it already had bad news already. But this one probably not as bad. You were looking for 8 million shares, got 5.6 million shares out here today. But it probably wasn't a great market to begin with. But a lot of people are keying in on this as the big issue for what's going on. Now, as I said, even John Deere, these both were in my newsletter before the news came out. Yesterday, we had this thing, 3.2 million shares going against 8 million shares. And it can happen, especially if you think it's in a bear market. But we're going to start going through some other stocks out here and see what the rest of the world is starting to do. One of the other ones in my chart was much more interesting. Pierre Audemars. What about that caller? Tell her to call in to discuss. Don't know them. Government shutdown is off the table. Need a new fear. I need a new fear. Oh, I like that song from, what was it? I need a new friend. I'm going to do a parody to I Need a New Drug. I Need a New Fear. Anyway, Ambev, I was looking at this one this morning. I went a different path and bought some other stuff, but maybe I should have gone in here and looked at this thing. Again, this is more of exactly what's happening in the market than John Deere or in some of the other ones, but or Caterpillar. But August 24th, 22 million shares yesterday in Ambev. We had 15 million shares, so 7 million shares light. Today, we went way deep. And what did we get? 14 million shares. This thing's trying to climb back above that 472 today. Got to a high of 470, but we'll have to see how this market does come out. But like I said, we're going to be really short by the end of the day on this market, and especially if you look at the stocks, not the indexes. We're trading out at 1923. And I'm wondering if Caterpillar and Deere throwing a grenade into the market at the last minute did not make at least a temporary low in this market today. Certainly, we haven't gotten the volume yet. Can always get it. Of course, the day is, it's the day's not over yet.
Day ain't over yet.
Oh, well. Anyway, Ambev is the first one. Let's go look at some other ones out here. The biotechs looked very interesting to me today, too. Just on low volume, I still need to have a few of these things actually pull back and close back into the trading range. But, even if you go with the lowest of volume around that 25th, 26th area in Abbott Labs, ABT, we're looking at 12 million shares. Yesterday, we had 6.2 million shares. Today, 3.7 million shares so far today. And again, you want these things to kind of pop back up, give you some reason to buy. They can continue kind of coming down. But I tell you, it is awful tough for me not to pull the trigger on something that's down on 3.7 million compared to 12 million. And if you wanted to look the other way, August 24th, 18 million. So the volume is not big in a great deal of the stocks out here. It is very good in a very few stocks out here. Allergen, another one out here, probably not as good as a Signal, but last 2 days, Zippo for volume, 255,000 shares yesterday. We've got 247, so I'm going to have a little bit more today. But, you wanted to see something like 1 million shares to continue the downside in this one, AEGR. Other ones out here, Alexion Pharmaceuticals. We're looking for 3.5 million shares off that August 24th. What do we have today? We've got about 1 million shares. It is down kind of at the very bottom of that. Yesterday, 1.8 million shares. The day before that, 2.25 million shares. So there isn't a drumbeat of lower volume out here. And what are we looking at? 1924 on the S&P cash. Ambarella. Now, this one may be one that continues down. One of the things that you look for is a doji in the halfway move. If this thing was doing an ABC on the way down, I could concede that this one may be one of the ones that continues down from here in an ABC. When we come back, we'll look at it, look at the projection on it. But, of course, it's tied to GoPro, which I thought was smoke and mirrors to begin with. Still, it's smoke and mirrors. We'll be back in a minute.
TFNN is excited about our new software charting program, The Art of Timing the Trade Charts. In collaboration with Tom O'Brien and using his best-selling book, The Art of Timing the Trade, Your Ultimate Trading Mastery System, David White has programmed an outstanding piece of software that will complement any trader's methodology. Using this first-of-its-kind program, The Art of Timing the Trade Charts allows you to scan thousands of stocks for Fibonacci formation setups, including Gartley's, ABC's, butterflies, and much more. The Art of Timing the Trade Charts is designed to help you when scouring the markets for stocks just beginning to form the trading patterns that many investors spend days, weeks, or even months searching to find. And right now, we're offering licenses available at only $79 a month. We are so confident that you're going to love this new charting software that will even give you a 30-day unconditional money-back guarantee. Don't miss out on this incredible new piece of software. Get your copy of The Art of Timing the Trade Charts today by visiting TFNN.com.
Tiger TV is an exciting way to experience TFNN programming. See high-definition video, giving you crisp crystal clear charts, as well as seeing some of the faces of TFNN's highly acclaimed financial experts with crisp, full fidelity sound. Catch Tom O'Brien, John Logan, Steve Rhodes, Basil Chapman, Larry Pesavento, Think or Swim, David White, Andy Hecht, and Daryl Martin in crystal clear, high definition audio and video. Tiger TV, exclusively at TFNN.com. Platinum, grains, crude oil, gold, copper, cattle, hogs, gasoline, natural gas, coffee, cotton, cocoa, and sugar. These are just some of the commodities mentioned in the most recent issue of Andy Hecht's Techno-Mental Commodity Report. Andy publishes his weekly newsletter every Thursday morning, where he breaks down the commodity market and provides his subscribers with specific trading recommendations based on his trading methodology. By signing up for a free trial to the Techno-Mental Commodity Report, you'll get a full 30 days to try out this powerful newsletter service and see for yourself the types of trades Andy has recommended for his subscribers. When you sign up for a 30-day free trial, you're under no obligation to pay anything. And should you decide to continue, you will lock in the low rate of only $79 a month. Sign up right now for the Techno-Mental Commodity Report and make sure you're ready to catch the next big trade in commodities. For more information and to get started today, visit the front page of TFNN.com.
Biotech is booming, but for how long? Whether you think the biotech bull has room to run or has run its course, trade LABU or LABD. Direction's daily S&P Biotech 3 times bull and bear ETFs. Visit directioninvestments.com/biotech today. An investor should consider the investment objectives, risks, charges, and expenses of the Direction shares carefully before investing. The prospectus and summary prospectus contain this and other information about Direction shares. To obtain a prospectus or summary prospectus, please contact Direction shares at 866-476-7523. The prospectus or summary prospectus should be read carefully before investing. An investment in the funds is subject to risk, including the possible loss of principal. The funds are designed to be utilized only by sophisticated investors such as traders and active investors. Distributor Foreside Fund Services, LLC.
Many of our new listeners have heard about the Tiger's Den, but wondered, what exactly is it? The Tiger's Den is a lively community where professional traders and investors can meet, exchange ideas and information in a comfortable, moderated atmosphere. Hear all of your favorite TFNN shows, plus see all the charts as they happen live during those shows, and have access to all those charts. You can test drive the Tiger's Den absolutely free for 30 days. It will greatly enrich your knowledge of these markets. Details on the Tiger's Den are on the front page of TFNN.com. Dave takes your phone calls now. Toll free at 1-877-927-6648. Internationally at 727-445-1044.
And I had an email from Hot Dog about GT Advanced Technologies, and I was thinking maybe this was another company, but maybe this is, yeah, it's the same one. I didn't know there was anything still left of this thing. This is the one that Apple blew up by not taking their sapphire materials, and it's still out there. Of course, what they do is a lot of LED stuff. I don't exactly know. It's a Q stock, so I'd have to dig back into it. The only thing I can say about this particular stock is that Cree is on my list of stocks that look like it's stopped going down. We made a lot of money in this one, and it was one of my bigger calls last year in saying that Cree was not going to be able to hold the kind of margins that it had in LED lighting. In fact, I just saw a deal where I got like a 4-pack or a 6-pack of LED lights from Home Depot for $18 or something. Maybe it was $15, whatever it was. It was like the price of light bulbs before there were LEDs or even CFTs, CFLs. And it was kind of nice. But, you know, maybe there's something out there. I just would have to dig through that company a long time to figure out if there's anything that you could ever do. But, man, that would take a lot of digging, and I don't think I'm going to do it. But if there was a positive note out here, Cree may have found a slight bottom. The July 7th low at $23.63. And, of course, we've gotten into that, pierced it with 800,000 shares so far. So like I said, a lot of these stocks out here doing a lot of testing. And I'm thinking this is just one more washout day. And maybe this washout day was planned. And I'm going to be putting on my aluminum foil helmet as soon as the show is over. But I see conspiracies everywhere. Unfortunately, a lot of times they're true. But and maybe they would be something just as simple as that, and that is a CEO wanting to demolish the price of his stock so he could get options at a lower price. I don't know the guy, never met him, but it wouldn't be the first time I've seen it done. Anyway, Cree was one of the ones on my list out here with a lighter volume. Now, does that mean that this thing's done going down? No, but probably more of a trading range. And in this case, it'd be $23 to $27, but I would not be in it. I think there are much better stocks out there that have a much better Anyway, we were talking about Umbrella. You can email me too, by the way, at path@tfnn.com. You can call me at 877-927-6648, and you can post a message in the den like Pete D did, and we'll get to Panera here in just a second. My friend thinks that the devil lives in Panera because he's so tight he can anyway, I'm sure there's several jokes, but he's probably one of the thriftiest persons I know. But he scowled at it because it's more than the $3.18 that the all-American meal at McDonald's would cost. A $9 sandwich, God save us all. He kind of does this when he comes by the Panera. He thinks that the Satanists probably run it. Anyway, Umbrella, I just wanted to look at this back out here. You know, you could continue seeing this as an ABC down. I've always thought that it was, that there was no better big market operation than this by, of course, Mr. Woodman, who brought GoPro public and tried to convince everybody that it was going to be much more than just a hardware company. The reason why is if you're just a hardware company, you're going to make 20, 25% margins. If you're a software and hardware company, maybe you make 65, 70% like Apple does. And that was the story. The reality was a whole lot less. Anyway, a 1-to-1 in Umbrella takes you down to $40, $39.73. And let's see if we've got anything back that far in Umbrella. Yeah, I got a nice big gap out here, right there, sitting right at the 1-to-1, maybe $41. Anyway, I would not be surprised if this comes back to that gap just above $40. When does that gap go back to? October 31st of 2014. Okay, PNRA. And take a quick look at that. Wow, man, this one could be setting up an ABC down too. I don't know. We're going to have to come back and look at this. I'll think about it over the break. But what's the energy look like on this? Ooh, hey, there it is. Confluence alert. Confluence alert. We'll be back in a minute.
The Path of Least Resistance is David White's daily trading newsletter, and if you're looking for active trading ideas, then now's a perfect time for a 30-day free trial to this powerful daily trading advisory service. David uses his years of trading experience to offer his subscribers his trading ideas each morning in his Path of Least Resistance newsletter. Using a combination of equity trades along with options, David keeps his subscribers up to date with all pertinent market information with intraday afternoon updates when warranted. Don't miss out on this great chance to get a 30-day free trial to David's daily newsletter, The Path of Least Resistance, with no obligation to pay anything. David has been delivering solid recommendations for his subscribers recently, and if you'd like to see the type of newsletter he delivers every morning, then visit the front page of TFNN and you'll find The Path of Least Resistance under Trading Newsletters. For all the details and to start your 30-day free trial today, log on to TFNN.com now. Has the current market volatility continued to stop you out of trades when the market spikes against you? Now is the perfect time to open up an account with Nadex. Nadex, the North American Derivatives Exchange, is a brand new, completely regulated Chicago-based exchange, and unlike most other exchanges, Nadex allows you to trade directly through them with direct market access when using their completely free trading platform, which also features real-time charts and full customization capability. One of the advantages of trading with Nadex in volatile markets is that your risk is always capped and you have the ability of keeping your trades open even when the market spikes against you. Nadex is completely brand new with a line of unique trading products that are unavailable anywhere else. See how it works at nadex.com. That's NADEX.com. Or click on the Nadex banner on the front page of TFNN.com. Futures and options trading involves risk and may not be appropriate for all investors.
If you're an active trader looking for that extra edge when it comes to trading and investments, then now is a great time to get a 2-week free trial to Tom O'Brien's daily market letter, Market Insights. Tom O'Brien's daily newsletter, Market Insights, comes out every market day at around 9:30 a.m. and provides Tom's daily commentary on the broad market, including the Dow, NASDAQ, and S&P, plus specific trade recommendations. There's even an update published most afternoons to keep you informed about the day's market activity. He'll give you the entry price, price target, and stop price of each stock and option trade. With Market Insights, there's nothing left to guessing. For all the details and to get your 2-week free trial to Market Insights started today, visit TFNN.com.
Today, it's hard to tell if the economy is coming or going. Regardless, I want my money going in the direction I choose. If that's your stance as well, then you want to know how Everbank can help keep your money thriving just the way you want. Is growing your money a priority? Everbank is committed to a yield pledge promise to pay high yields on your checking, money market, and CD balances. Looking to diversify? Everbank ingeniously developed accessible ways to spread your money around the world into foreign currencies and even non-FDIC insured metals. And when it comes to your wealth, they bring a highly experienced and global perspective to help you manage it. Everbank's financial philosophy flies in the face of the status quo. They believe your money's performance should not be determined by today's economic circumstances, but by the drive to rise above them and create opportunities that favor your objectives. If that excites you, like it does me, call 1-855-750-4051 to find out what they can do for you. That's 1-855-750-4051. Call them today. Everbank is a member FDIC and equal housing lender.
This segment is brought to you by Think or Swim. For more information, just click the Think or Swim banner on the front page of TFNN.com.
And yes, we're back to Panera Bread, where my friend Joe thinks the sign of the devil occurs because, of course, the price of a sandwich was $9 one day, and he swore it off. You might as well have been a godless commie in his eyes as go in and pay $9 for a sandwich. Anyway, Panera Bread, if you're looking at this, did exactly what it should, tested a previous low back here on 824, came back, tested it on 9.1 on light volume, and went right back up to where resistance would be, which is the confluence level. That was 186.90. So you got literally everything that you would want out of a bounce in this. More than likely, this is in some kind of trading range, I suspect, between 173.51. If it can break around this level, then it can go back to the previous high. But if you were trading it, the only good trade I would see was that buying it at 173 and planning to sell it at this confluence level. I don't see a risk reward setup other than that. So good on you if you got the $17 out of that trade. Above this, very hard to see anything else at this time. Like I said, if this thing would have a sign of strength above this level right here, then you could probably look at seeing if the 208 again. Other than that, I don't see a whole lot out here on this. Apple question. Kathy in Mountain View says, I know you get tired of Apple questions. Do you think we'll start to see that $3 gain out of the product launch through tomorrow? I think so. I think we got the Pope leaving, we got Chinese coming in, and I think we're going to have some good news out of China. So I don't know if we're going to get all that $3 by tomorrow. I would not be surprised. The PR machine has been incredibly quiet at Apple, and I suspect that they're going to use both barrels of it tomorrow morning. Once all the Pope issues, no, I wouldn't call them issues, but Pope soaking up all the PR oxygen in the room, he's going back tonight. So I have a feeling that they'll have to come up with something else to focus on, and I think that's going to be Apple. And I would not be surprised this rally. In fact, I heard something earlier on the floor of the New York Stock Exchange on the TV. We haven't heard this for a little while. And yes, the cavalry coming over the thing, trading off at 1926, 2.54 billion shares. So we will have gone down and pierced the lows once again on what looks like going to be about 1.7 billion shares short on the New York Stock Exchange consolidated tape. What else do we have? Also, do you think it's bounced likely? I have a put on IBB, which I bought over a week ago on fundamentals, and the fact that the hedge funds have so much invested there. I'm trying to decide if I should close it today or hold it over the weekend. Whatever your plan was to begin with, I think we're probably going to get a little rip out of the IBB. Energy was not all that exciting. It's hit the gap, which is probably, I think, just about everything you could hope for out here. Volume did slightly increase in the IBB today. We haven't had a real turnaround in it yet, but I would not be surprised to see some nibbling on it. I was looking at it this morning, and we've got in the rest of my stocks here today, we've got quite a few in that sector that have tested lows on lighter volume. It's unclear if we have enough to turn that index around, but there's enough of them down here that I would not be shorting the IBB right now. So I would say that if it was to coin flip, it's probably going to be a higher price out here and did just about everything that you think it should on a lighter volume. You know, you really wanted to see what, 2.8 million shares, you got about 2.6. It's pretty evenly balanced right now. Let's go look at some other companies out here. ARRY, I almost bought this one, which is in the biotech sector. I really liked it. It just hadn't given me a sign yet, but I like the fact that this thing, look at the last 4 days out here of volume on Array Biopharma. You go from 2.3 million shares to 1.8 million shares to 1 million shares yesterday to 700,000 shares today. It got down to $4.93. If it can close above 513, that would be one more arrow in the quiver of a higher biotech and pharma business. Banks, BBT. Taking a quick look at this guy. What do we have out here? Another one that doesn't look all that bad. This is in the banking sector. And again, the volume has been pretty much the last 3 or 4 days very light, but today, just ridiculous. You're going against the August 24th low, 10 million shares, $34.76. We've gone below it. We've come back above it, all with 3.8 million shares. So I think you're barking up the wrong tree in BBT unless you think that he's going to come out tonight and say, the sky is falling and everybody should run. Beeve Aerospace. This is one kind of that is broken out to the low, which is kind of curious, especially with China talking about the Boeing's move. But this one, I think probably a little bit more action out here. Now, again, this thing is broken below its July 23rd low that had 6 million shares, did that on August 24th with 3 million shares, and we're only down on 1.9 million shares out here today. So far, doesn't tell me that there's a lot of conviction going lower in Beeve Aerospace. Another one, Belmont Limited, BEL on this one, has gone below its August 24th low for 3 days. that had 740,000 shares. Doji, about 480,000 shares, 428,000 shares today. 181,000 shares. Again, you need this to close back above 1055 to put it in the trading range. What else do we have out here? Beezer Homes. Beezer had earnings this morning, didn't they? I thought I had them on my list. Or KBH, excuse me. Was down. KBH was down to 13.57 as low today. Trading now out at $14.43, down 2 cents on 6 million shares. So if we look at this one, it wanted it to, basically Beezer needs to go out and test this February 2nd low at $14.20, but that had 2.8 million shares. You're in that, certainly in that candle with 380,000 shares today. So not a lot to excite me back here. We talked about Cree. DuPont, wanted to see how this one affected by the news. This one's kind of looking kind of interesting too. Of course, you made the August 24th low on 13 million shares, pierced it on the 18th with 9.7 million shares, did a little dance on the catwalk, bounced a little, came back down today, and actually reversing a little bit to the upside on 4.5 million shares today. So not a lot going on here. Deckers, we talked about this one yesterday, still looked fairly interesting to me in that it's in to a long-term gap. It also was testing its volume yesterday with a little less than 500,000 shares compared to almost 1 million shares on August 24th. Today, volume picked up a little bit, but actually this thing pierced its gap and is reversed back into it today. Watch how this works in the next few days. DigiGlobe, there's a few that just blew out the bottoms. Not on volume, though. Digital Globe, which is kind of like a Google Maps kind of thing, Sky, did blow out the lows. The July 31st low came in at 2.1 million shares yesterday. You had 640,000 shares. Volume did accelerate today, though. A little under 1 million shares today, but still far less than the 2.1 million shares. Now, some of the stocks that really interest me are not stocks that I would buy, but are canaries in the coal mine. Fastenal Company, they make, or they don't make, but they sell nuts and bolts and everything that attaches to anything if you're an industrial company, and that ends up being a big deal because it tells you what's going on in that sector. Well, you needed 6.2 million shares from the August 24th low at 36.73. We've broken below that. Maybe we close back in that range tomorrow, but certainly not seeing a big sign of people exiting to the door on this one today. 1.2 million shares so far today, 1.4 million shares yesterday. And again, that's going against the 6.2 million shares of that August 24th low. FFIV, a nice reversal out here today on this one. You probably, if it wasn't a $115 stock, I probably would be thinking about buying it. But August 24th came in at 1.9 million shares, $112.43. We get into that 2 days or 3 days ago on 1.1 million shares, so about half. A little volume up on yesterday at a little less than 700,000 shares. And a nice little move back up here today on 600,000 shares. So not all these stocks are being thrown out with the bathwater. FLIR, FLR. And this one is very interesting to me. August 24th, 2.6 million shares, just a hair under $42 for the low that day. Yesterday, we get into it with 1.4 million shares. Today, 1 million shares. We pierced down to $40.71. We're getting to the point where maybe it will close back into the trading range above $41.88. And that's your sign that at least a temporary low is in on these. Hess. I liked the play and the action in the oils today. I like the play and the action in natural gas and some of these other ones also. I'm thinking there may be some kind of lows out here, especially with Hess. Now, Hess is giving us a doji out here. So this is either the down and it's over or the halfway move. So look at this one tomorrow. HES symbol, 4 million shares on the August 26th low, $49.86. We pierced that today. Need to close back above that, but we're basically talking almost half the volume, 2.3 million shares so far. We go to the mail. Please look at Met. I trade MetLife. I put up the last 2 years. It has been a real good deal. Buy today on Met. So let's take a quick look. And this is Donald. Donald doesn't tell me where he's from. Maybe he's from Mars. Doesn't know. Just what I look for as a test of the low. You're in that candle. The volume's less, significantly less, 3.67 million shares today. I just always wait until I can find one that tests the low. And that's the downside, is this one has not blown through the $44.48. Maybe you get that tomorrow. I just think your odds would be better. Is it a bad trade? The answer is no. It just means you'd have to accept a little bit more risk to the downside. Insurance companies, the big problem with them is when the markets go down, so do their profits. So they are a proxy for the stock markets, and just keep an eye on that. But, as long as we continue to see a little bit of a rally out here, and hope it isn't F Troop that shows up, MetLife is very interesting. You like that MetLife. I mean, you like that F Troop thing. Okay. Anyway, you can give me a call at 877-927-6648. You can email me, like the disembodied Don, who does not know where he's from. And you can also post a message in the den. What else do we have out here in my limited time out here that we have left? New Skin. There's some stocks out here that are making some fairly decent patterns. If you like your Wyckoff pattern for buying, that is, wait for it to break up with a sign of strength. In this case, the 7th of August with 6.8 million shares, and let it come back in, settle in, fill most of the gap. It's doing so. What is that? How much was that? 6.8 million shares. What do we have 2 days ago? 570,000 shares. Today, or yesterday, 500,000 shares. Today, just 400,000 shares. What's going on? I'm told that there was a bear market, and a bear market needs volume, like a sailor needs his rum. So we'll continue on it. Also, other stocks that make me think that maybe there's a temporary bottom in this space that they call energy is a wonderful little sign from Oxy. August 24th, 10 million shares, $64.60. We're into it today with 2.5 million shares. So a fourth of the volume. We went below it. We've closed back above it. The energy off this August 31st high back down to this low has not been all that exciting compared to the volume up from August 24th to that August 31st high. So I'm telling you that there may be some gold and black gold in that Occidental Petroleum out here that may be making at least a temporary bottom. What else is out here? Oh, we were talking about other stocks. Dave the Bull. Just temporarily. I think we got a couple of months higher, and maybe we can go lower. But certainly a ton of stocks with a lighter volume, and even a temporary. Oh, what happened here? There must be something wrong. It says 1932 on the S&P cash. This can't be right. It will not stand.
TFNN is excited to offer a brand new piece of market scanning software unlike anything the industry has ever seen. John Logan and his team have spent years developing their market profile tools to finally be able to release the TAS Profile Scanner Plus. And right now you can get a 2-week trial absolutely free just by visiting TFNN.com and providing us your name and email address. The TAS Profile Scanner Plus is the premier market profile based scanner in the industry, powered by the acclaimed TAS proprietary algorithms, this feature-rich scanner is a standalone desktop software that instantly filters over 2,500 global financial markets such as stocks, ETFs, commodity futures, and Forex. Within 3 minutes of signing up, you can have the software downloaded and running on your computer with a complete roadmap of market indicators and inflection points to trade off using the TAS Profile Scanner Plus. Sign up today and try this amazing piece of software by visiting TFNN.com.
Tom O'Brien's weekly gold letter, The Gold Report, gives complete and concise coverage of the entire gold market. Inside, you'll get Tom's commentary on gold, the dollar, the rand, the bond, the XAU, the HUI, and detailed coverage of nearly 25 mining stocks. He'll give you the entry price, price target, and stop price of each stock trade. The Gold Report is a long-term newsletter where the focus is on building real wealth through the management of a successful portfolio of gold stocks. With a lifetime of knowledge and almost 12 years of writing his informative weekly newsletter, The Gold Report, Tom O'Brien can provide you with the important market information to help you make better trades in the gold market. Don't let the next bull run in gold pass you by. To get a month-long free trial to The Gold Report, an $85 value, visit the front page of TFNN.com today.
David White's newsletter, The Technology Insider, is focused like a laser on finding the next big things in technology. If you had invested only $10,000 in Microsoft in 1986, you'd have been a millionaire by 2000. Disruptive technology like Microsoft's is the key to these massive long-term profits, and the Tech Insider is the vehicle from TFNN to capitalize on these opportunities. This is the go-to newsletter that identifies, monitors, and profits on mostly little-known cutting-edge companies with great long-term prospects. David's experience is as an inventor of Emmy-winning animation products for TV and Hollywood that propelled a company public. Match that with 14 years as a full-time trader, and he's uniquely qualified to guide you through the light-speed world of ever-evolving high-tech. If you're ready to ride the next big technology bull market for less than $40 per month, log on to TFNN.com and get your 2-week free trial to the Technology Insider. Get in on the ground floor of the next big thing today.
Hi, I'm Steve Rhodes, host of the Trader's Edge, heard daily at TFNN.com and author of Mastering Probability, a daily investment and trading newsletter service that I send out each morning by 8 a.m. My morning newsletter service covers exactly what the markets have been doing since last night's close, providing you with an edge on your trading day ahead. You get actionable trading ideas, including the exact entry, stop, and profit targets. Plus, I'll teach you the patterns and hidden market correlations that will make you a better trader. As a subscriber, you'll gain access to my 90-minute money management workshop, where I'll teach you the secrets that'll save your assets. The bottom line, I've got your back, including a 30-day money-back guarantee. See for yourself the type of analysis I provide each trading day by signing up for Mastering Probability today. With nothing to lose, this is an offer you should not pass on. Mastering Probability can be found under Trading Newsletters on the front page of TFNN.com.
Catch Tom O'Brien, professional trader and educator, founder of TFNN. Also, a special guest on CNBC. Tom will bisect and dissect the markets. The Tom O'Brien Show, next on TFNN.
And we're off to 6 points on the S&P cash now. I suspect we're probably going to go close flat, drive everybody a little batty out here. 2.7 billion shares on the New York Consolidated Tape, so that's not a whole lot. But I don't know. It's hard for me to see this market breaking down until I see a great deal of these stocks that are testing lows, like Oxy, start to develop some volume at the lows. Now, maybe they bounce and then get some volume to the downside. But at this point, if the volume was maybe 80% of something like Oxy, I would be thinking a lot more bearish. At the point where you see 50% volume on some of these big stocks, I have to take up and see notice. We were talking about China, and it was kind of interesting to see that even some of these Chinese stocks seem to be beating out some lows. And one of those is Sohu.com. This made its big low July 8th with 2.3 million shares. If you go back, even look at the August 24th low, 830,000 shares, 120,000 shares today, 256,000 shares yesterday as they're going back in. You know, I'm not buying any Chinese stock. Everybody knows that. But even this one looks like maybe there's something going out here. And I'm wondering if there isn't something out here like a little bit of Chinese magic that's going to happen when he meets the president. Maybe we're going to see a lot of discussion about maybe some new program or something else coming out. Maybe we're just starting to see that. Maybe a little bit of Apple magic out there. We got to have some iPhones being selling. But looked to me all week long that Apple looked like it wanted to pop to 117 on the news. So we'll keep an eye on that one also. Apple trading out here right now at 115.70. And I still think 117 by the close tomorrow. And that was it. Well, Don, who does not know where he is saying he's in the Blue Ridge Mountains somewhere, and therefore he does not know where he is. Anyway, he would have called, he says. Thanks, Don. I just didn't know. When people today, I forget everything within a matter of seconds. And you have to continually tell me. Anyway, yeah, 1937 on the S&P cash as we close in with about 2 minutes to go. See if there's anything else I wanted to look at out here. Tidewater. Talk about throwing your stocks out with the bathwater. Tidewater, a horrible business. But even horrible businesses eventually, if they're not going broke, finally stop going down. August 25th, this thing had $14.35, 2.9 million shares. Yesterday, we came in with 1.4 million shares. Today, 418,000 shares. Closed back above basically that I'd probably want it 1439 or higher. Would put in at least a temporary bottom, and you may even see a move back up to this 1810 area from September 16th out here. And maybe these things are just in a trading range for a while. But I continue to see that maybe there's maybe just a little bit too much short action. Maybe we need to give it a little bit more time. But like I said, not a lot of stocks out here really driving home high volume at the lows. And if we have time for one more, see out there, SAP, Germany's getting creamed. So what is their premier software company of it doing today? This is an ADR, so it's kind of a little bouncy out here. But August 24th, 2.7 million shares, $63.06. Of course, they're probably severely tied to the German motor car industry. But the last 3 days, 1.4 million shares, 1.6 million shares. Today, 1.5 million shares, all going into that August 24th low. And that's Germany. Anyway, we'll see you tomorrow. Same bat channel, same bat time. Remember to sell when you can, not when you have to. Also, cover your shorts when you can, not when you have to. We'll be back tomorrow.
Larry Pesavento has just started his brand new service, Fibonacci 24/7, and he's already delivering content to his subscribers on a daily basis when the market's opened and even on weekends. Each Monday, you'll receive Larry's written report that provides detailed commentary and a summary on the charts and videos that Larry sends out. And throughout the week, when warranted, Larry will send out via charts or videos or both the key markets that he is watching during the day. This will be up-to-the-date, active trading information that will help you in your daily trading. In Larry's first week alone, he sent out 25 charts, 6 videos, and a full report to his subscribers in just 1 week. If you're a technical trader that uses patterns and retracements to trade, then Larry's service Fibonacci 24/7 is something that you must try. Right now, new subscribers can get a full 30-day money-back guarantee. With nothing to risk, sign up now to Larry Pesavento's Fibonacci 24/7 by visiting the front page of TFNN.com under Trading Newsletters.
You're watching Tiger TV.